relationship. It's not about money in this world. Having said that, you need some to survive. Give back to God. Here's another tip here that says, honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits, not the last fruits, not the middle fruits, but the first fruits of your crop, that your barns will be filled with overflowing and vats will brim over with new wine. That's found in Proverbs again. So the idea that God really wants to get that top percent. I said tithing, and also paying yourself first is important too, before you do all these other things, to have a plan. And then remember that it belongs to God. Everything, the whole entire universe, the creation, all this wealth, this building, everything belongs to God. It says in Leviticus 25:23, remember that the land is mine, so you may sell it, may not sell it permanently. And even in Singapore, I think they're not allowed to own, like they can have a building or a house or something for 100 years, and then it goes back to government. But in a broader sense, we know that God is, He's got everything, right? And we can just ask Him to be a good steward. Another point here is God is greater than money. Put God before money. We know this, obviously. I'm preaching to the choir here. But in Matthew 6:33, one of my favorite verses, but seek first His kingdom and righteousness, and all things will be added unto you as well. The idea here that we're seeking God's kingdom, seeking that idea rather than everything else. And then the popular scripture of counting the costs. When you make a barn or a bridge. Funny comment is in the Philippines when they do that, often they'll have half-built progress of stuff. They'll have a building and be half done because they didn't count the cost. They didn't actually go and figure out where they were going to get funding from. Now, what I want to do at this point is actually do a fun personality quiz. So what we'll do is I'll hand these out, these money habitudes, and we'll go through these pretty quick. So there's pens and papers on everywhere. So if you're taking notes, this is part of your notes. This is, you can see at the bottom there, maybe not so much, www.moneyhabitudes.com. This is I went to a retreat and actually did a series on money. And why I bring this up is because we know of the different personalities, the 4 personalities and colors or whatever they are. But did you know that there's personalities in money? And I didn't know this. And it might be interesting for us to sort of determine that and, kind of look at that. And I've posted on the website, so I'm going to push you guys to the Facebook page, all of these cards, like not the questions but the answers. So once you figure out what your money type is, then we can actually get fun and figure out, okay, what am I, what are my strengths, weaknesses, and stuff like that. And it is kind of important to maybe understand that possibly, and we can go through that. So there's different types. There's 1, security, 2, spontaneity, 3, status, selfishness, free-spirited, and targeted goals, as I've listed on your sheets there. And what I'll do is I'm going to read through, I think there's about 10 questions for each, and I'll just put it up here that we can put in not me, that's me, or in the middle. So as I read these questions, and hopefully I won't go too fast, you can write off, first the 1s in the columns and then the 2s. So we'll go ahead and see how that works. So put that not me or is me or somewhere in the middle. I rarely buy anything unless I can pay for it right